Hello everyone, welcome to the next video of C programming. In our previous video, we have already seen how to use if else and nested if else. Also, you have written some programs by using if else. In this video, we'll see another approach of writing multiple decisions based on else if ladder. Okay, so the name is very interesting as well as the concept is also. By using else if ladder, we will see what are the benefits we are getting over nested if else. Now, what do you mean by else if ladder or why it is required? This is actually required to handle programs to make decisions. Obviously, it's a conditional statement means you have to make some decision. But the most important word is based on multiple sequential conditions. That means one after another, the condition will be evaluated. Anything will be evaluated as true. That particular block will execute. Okay. Now, if you see the syntax, now this is what the syntax. Now, first of all, you have to write some if condition. The condition will be evaluated either as true or as false. If it is evaluated as true, the control will enter to the if block. The statements will be executed, and after that, directly it will come out of the program. Okay, but if the condition returns false, it will go to the corresponding else. And beside the else, you have to write another if with a new condition. Okay, so that means it is sequential operations. The first if condition will be evaluated. If it will return false, it will automatically come to the next if, which is beside the else. This type of statement is known as a else if ladder. Once the condition will be evaluated, either it will be evaluated as true or it will be evaluated as false. If true, that means the statement inside the if block will be executed. After that, it will come out of the program. But if it will return false, it will go to the next else case wherever the statement will be executed. That means one program can have multiple number of conditions, and beside else, if you are writing if with another condition, this approach is known as your else if ladder. Okay, and here the most important thing, if none of the condition will satisfy, finally the last else block will be executed automatically. Okay, so to understand this particular problem, let us write one simple program. Okay, so the first program we will write down one number is positive or negative. We'll start with the simplest program. The number is positive or negative. So what will be the approach? First of all, we will take a number as input. Okay, then we'll check for whether the number is 0 or not. If yes, means 0. If not, that means there will be two things. Either it will be a positive number or it will be a negative number. Okay, so that means the first condition should be you have to check whether the number is 0 or non-zero. Done. So let us write. We will use the header file. You have taken the now declare the number. So let us take the input for that. So as you are taking a single number, so one single format specifier. So here I am giving the input. First of all, I am checking whether the number is 0 or non-zero. Okay. So that means if it will satisfy this condition, I'll write the number is 0. Okay. If the condition is false, I'll come to else. But in else if ladder, I'll write down the if beside the else. Okay. That if the number is greater than 0, printf percentage %d is a positive number. Okay. If the first condition is false, that means not 0. The second condition is false, it's not positive. Then what else? Now only else you have to just write the entire statement again, but you have to write it's a negative number. Okay. So this particular thing, this statement is known as your else if ladder, because previously nested if else, inside the else block you are writing if else. But in else if ladder, you have to bring the if condition beside else. That will be treated as else if ladder. Okay. And the advantage is what? The program will be much more simpler. The number of lines of code will be less. Okay. So let us execute this one, compile and run. Suppose I am writing 5. So it's a positive number. If I'll give -6, it will give it a negative number. One more condition also you have given for 0. You have to check that one also. Number is 0. Okay. This is what the use of my else if ladder program. Okay. Let us consider one more example. You have to find the smallest between three numbers. The same program in our previous video we have written by using nested if else. How? First you are providing a condition. Inside that again you are writing nested if else. Then again you are writing else and you are writing nested if else. Okay. So we'll rewrite the same program by using else if ladder. Okay. So for that what you need to write? First of all you have to write the same statement. That means you need three values. Okay. So how to write by using else if ladder? Number 1 equal to number 2 and number 1 equal to number 3. Okay. If both the conditions are true means printf all three numbers are equal. Okay. If this condition is false, that means you will come inside the else, but I'll write down the condition here only. What I'll write? If number 1 is less than number 2 and number 1 is less than number 3. So what will happen? Number 1 is less than number 2 and number 1 is less than number 3. That means printf percentage %d is smallest. What is that? Number 1. Okay. But if that condition is again false, means number 1 is not smallest. That means I have to give one more condition for number 2. If it is less than number 1 and number 2 is less than number 3. Then I have to write down the same statement again for number 2. Okay. So what we'll have? First we have taken for all three numbers are equal. Then if this is not true, we will come to the else of this particular first if. Here I am writing another condition beside that, else if ladder. Number 1 is smaller than both the numbers. If true, then number 1 is small. If this is also false, you will come to the corresponding else of the second if. There again I have written third if with the condition whether number 2 is smaller than number 1 or number 3. If this is true, that means number 2 is small. But if none of the condition is true, that means I'll come to the last one where no need to compare. Obviously, number 3 is the smallest one. Okay. Now here, the number of lines from nested if else, you check the entire program, how it is complex. Okay. That you have to go through inside another if, then else. You have to come else, then inside if else. Although nested if else is easy, but the number of lines of code is more. Also, the complexity is more. So that you are simplifying by using else if ladder, where you are bringing this if beside the else. Okay. Okay, so let us execute. You have to enter three values. Suppose 5, 5, 5. All three numbers are equal. But if I'll give one more value, at 13, 6, 56, 6 is smallest. Okay. So this is how you can write simple programs by using else if ladder, so that the program logic will be simple, the lines of code will be simple, and the complexity will be reduced. Okay, so through this video we have practiced the concept of else if ladder, which is actually required in real time whenever you are writing conditional statement. So my suggestion, you go through the examples, write down the program by yourself, execute it, and watch the video repeatedly to clear your doubts. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video.